Alright, I believe that is enough stalling on my part. Hey, howdy campers. How are we doing tonight? You may or may not be able to tell, but the energy is going to be a little more low-key for the evening. We're going to be a little bit more relaxed and laid back, and actually I'm going to blind myself really quickly. It's going to look extra blue right now, but trust me, when I switch over to the emulator, it is going to be extra mega not blue. That is for certain. I thought I didn't mute myself. And look at this. I'm actually correcting the focus before we even start. Yippee, he's learning. Yay. Oh my god, he's learning. Wow. Yup. I said I wanted to take advantage of, not currently being employed. So, why not start a stream at 8 p.m. on a Tuesday or on a Wednesday? I'm lost in the sauce. Yesterday was Tuesday. At least I caught my mistake, right? That means something, right? Anyway, yeah, we're here. I think I got just about everything set up that I want to have set up. I don't think I need anything else open, right? Just Discord, the music, the game, OBS, Psychomantis. Yeah, actually, there is one thing I did want to do. I wanted to change the title of the stream. So let me go into Studio really quickly and make that adjustment. Not gonna change the description, but I think changing the title at least would be funny. Also, watched a little bit of the last time I was shiny hunting, so I have switched keyboards. Because especially when I'm shiny hunting, when there's low volume everywhere, the keyboard is very obvious. Where is... There she is. Dawn Mai, I definitely am going to get a shiny because I'm wearing this hat vibe. There we go. Just increase the blue tones of this camera shot even more. Just completely fucking kill it. I just noticed the typo. I mean, I hope you get Marill. Was there a typo in the original title? Well, good thing I changed it, so. Huzzah. Oh. I see, your original message. I just figured. Well, Weary is in town, so we're definitely not going to get it today, but have to loosen the lid a little bit. There, the water floweth. Anyway, yeah, so as long as he doesn't show up in the stream, I think that, we'll at least have a good time, right? I'm kidding. It'd be more fun having him around, and I'm not getting the shiny anyway, so. Someone go, don't actually. I was gonna say paying him 1,000 times, but don't. That guy's been driving for like 14 hours straight today, so. Even I think, yeah, just leave him alone. There you go. There's my confirmation that the stream title changed. Alright, folks. You're having a mental battle on PC stuff. That is a not horrendous place to start, because I didn't actually look at the PC that you sent in. You did do it through PC Part Picker. 1,200 is not what I would consider budget. It's not budget. Now here, I'll tell you this, as someone who built my own PC, what I did is very simple. I did exactly what you did, is I put together a list on PC Part Picker, make sure everything is compatible, nice, well thought out, and then I sent that list to a subreddit. I can't remember which one. Just like a maybe like a PC building subreddit of some kind. It's not, you don't need to be super specific about it. But essentially, you posted it in a couple subreddits and are like, hey, here's a like a lot of a lot of them do this pretty regularly, where they like, I have a PC part picker list. Tell me what you guys think. And then 14,000 neckbeard virgin PC builders go, actually, you made a horrendous fucking build. It's actually fucking terrible. You should be ashamed to breathe the same air as me. And then they'll tell you what's wrong, and you go, thank you! And then you build a way better computer that you put together for maybe, depending, it might even be cheaper and better, but yeah. So I would take this build to the PC part, like a PC building subreddit of some variety. I will tell you this. I'm pretty sure I have the same CP cooler that you do. At least I used to. So I can confirm that's a good one. You do have DDR5 RAM. That is, no. I'm sorry. That's absurdly expensive for RAM. That is unbelievably expensive for RAM. Oh, yeah, you know, I'm starting to look at this a little bit more. No, this is actually, like... You know how when you build a showdown team and I'm like, oh god, this is horrible, but like, whatever kind of thing? No, this is just absolutely horrendous. No. Like, the CPU is fine, is really good CPU, actually. People will probably tell you should probably go for a Ryzen 7 or a Ryzen 9. I think you should try to upgrade it to a equivalently costed Ryzen 7. It'll probably end up being a lot better for you. But this graphics card, oh my god, this graphics card makes me want to jump off a cliff. Let me actually look at the, no, don't, just show me the actual card itself. What are our capabilities on this thing? Like, I get it's $400, but like, is it like a super sale or something? RX 7700. Oh, hi Pop, Unite. Yes, we love the game, don't we? Can't wait for Vaporeon and all the Gooners to start playing the game. Ain't that gonna be awesome? I'm trying to figure out, is this card like massively on sale, or is it just... No, this is the price it kind of sits at. Yeah, no, definitely don't get this card. Do not get this graphics card. Have fun, Pop. Yeah, no. 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 If you want to farm some funny comments on Reddit, keep this build as it is, just send it in and watch them absolutely tear you to fucking shreds. But you know it's gonna happen when you do it, so, you know, it'll feel a little better, right? Most of this other stuff's probably fine. The RAM, dear God, get some cheaper RAM. Holy fuck, this RAM is insanely expensive, and it is not worth it to get expensive RAM like this. My good God, that's so expensive. Dude, I have as much RAM as you, and I probably paid, like, half of that. I know you don't have the money to buy a 1K graphics card, but, like, there's a term in PC building. I know this is supposed to be a Pokemon Shiny Hunter stream, guys, just don't fucking worry about it. Stay on the video, I promise I'll do it in a second. There's a concept, and I should probably be showing this off at this juncture. There is, because just, you know, get some visuals on the screen, why not? There is a concept known as bottlenecking. Now, what a bottleneck is when one part, well, at least in this, there's a lot of ways to describe it, but in this realm, when one part of your computer is so weak that everything else gets limited by how weak it is. So, like, if your weakest aspect of your computer is that you don't have enough RAM, then everything is based on how little RAM that you have. You're only as good as your worst component. And your worst component by far is a $400 graphics card that is just, no. That's just very, very weak. And I understand you can't afford a $1,000 graphics card. If a $400 graphics card is your price point, get cheaper RAM, and get a cheaper CPU. I was gonna say maybe leave the CPU as is, but no. No, that's way too... That's way too cheap. Also, a 650 watt power supply You might need one more powerful, considering the kind of power pull you're getting from these other things, but I don't know enough about PC building to tell you that for certain. That's probably fine. For reference, I was using an 800 watt power supply, and when I upgraded my parts, it wasn't enough. I had to buy a new power supply. But like I said, this is probably on par with the first one that I tried to build doing this method. So I don't want to see it as a place of like judgment. But this is if I hope to God you did not buy this. I hope to God you did not pay for this. I think the motherboard is probably fine. I got a lot of complaints when I did one of my build lists like this because I didn't realize I was using a micro motherboard, which you are using, but other than that, yeah. Just like I said, send this to a subreddit, which a bunch of people like want to spend their lives making sure that you know how fucking stupid you are. And I'm not talking about you specifically. I mean, like, people who don't know what they're talking about, they want to make them feel really stupid and to make themselves feel really smart. Just post it to one of those subreddits and they'll fucking go at it like sharks smelling blood in the water. And you will get like a 90% better computer. Because that's what I did. And it will work for you. Like, don't even say anything. Just be like, hey, I put together my first list. What do you guys think? I get maybe the I don't know, say something. Someone mentioned something about a micro motherboard instead of a regular sized one. What do you guys think? That's the most I would say. And just let them tear you to shreds. Give it like a day or two for it to stop being like a hot post. But yeah, that is that's awesome. Oh man. Well, all right. I think I have stalled just about enough of everybody's time, haven't I? Let's get back into your shiny hunting. Oh shit, is the speed? Nope. Speed's fine. It's easiest to tell when I can hear. Yeah, that's fine. Alrighty. I just click one of these F keys? No, I think we're good. Alright. Oh, that's the other thing I need up. Fuck. I completely fucking forgot. Give me a second. We have to go turn on my scripts for OBS. Put them like right around there. Yeah, that'll be a good place for them. We can put something up there too, and just finished job corps, so I have the training for my trade to know what I'm doing. Then I could get an actual job and get better parts. Yeah, I definitely think, as someone who did it himself, it was very gratifying doing my first job, and then using my first purchase being a big boy computer like this. I can tell you from personal experience, it is very gratifying. So I definitely support that decision. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get this started in 3, 2, 1. Let's get back into it, ladies and gentlemen. I believe I have a thing going already, and because it is currently past 8 o'clock, I believe we are still encountering just Marills and Kadabras. I reset the timer. How did that happen? Oh, fuck. Okay, hold on. We'll add 20 seconds to whatever the time was before. That's kind of easy. I think if I... Technical difficulty, folks. We'll be back to fighting form in just a moment. Oh, stop. Don't do that with the window. God in heaven. Okay, so just a little bit more. And just like that. Okay, so now that can stay up. I need to see what I ended the timer at last time. That is current live stream. 6:10:07:29. Okay, so This needs to be changed to 06. And then 10, 07, 29. Okay, so if I start... Why would this be at seconds? Okay, hold on. How many seconds is in 6 hours and 10 minutes? This is not how I thought this timer was gonna work. I thought it would stay consistent forever. Oh, this is fucked. Can I just do like this? Nope, I can't do that. Okay, so 6 times 60 times 60 is 21,600. This is actually crazy. And then 10 times 60 is 600. So that brings us up to 22,200. And then an extra 10 seconds. And then we'll add an extra 20 seconds because we did that shit. So now if I start the timer, 61 hours? Stupid. There we go. This is actually asinine. This is actually completely asinine. Okay, so I need to make sure this is set up before I start the time next time. So that is good to know. No, it doesn't mind being a timer. It just doesn't like starting from the same point I left it off at before, which is just gonna suck. So I think it was like 2 to 100. And then it needs to be like 2 to 200. Okay, and then it's an extra 27 seconds. Not how that works. Oh yeah, that is how that works. I see. 22200. No, that's definitely not right. 07. Because it's 7 seconds and 29 milliseconds. And then we need to add an extra 20 seconds. So... Yes. Okay. Alright. Jesus. Okay. So before we end the stream, we need to figure out how many hours are in our clock and then write that down. So let me actually... There's one other thing I need to pull up as well. That's so funny. We keep having to add stuff to my other screen. Late night Seabass2235s. Everybody, how are we doing today? I'm feeling great and woefully unprepared, apparently. So I kept track of how long it was in, like, hours, right? Like, I wrote down 6 hours, 10 minutes, 7 seconds, 29 milliseconds. What I didn't do is write down how many seconds it is. So this is in seconds, 22207. So total time spent in seconds. On day one, it was 22. So before we end stream, we need to keep track of how many seconds passed. Okay. Fantastic. Alright. Cool. So now everything's all better, guys. I promise everything's all better now. Wow, and since I'm here, let's just go ahead and run my stream in the background. Why not? Oh, boy. Put that bitch in. Wow, that made things way worse. What the fuck? Go away. Okay, there we go. We'll leave it like that. Let me just say my brain. Let me just use my brain this entire stream. Oh, don't worry. We don't need to keep track of it per se. We just need to do math at the end, which is completely fine. I'm unemployed. I should be doing math. Yeah. But it's more based on how long the timer's been running. All right. For real this time. 3, 2, 1, and we're back. We're so back. What if a shiny hits right here? Okay. Fair enough. Oh, good old Joseph. I forgot good old Joseph was here. Dad's the only one supporting me with my PC stuff, which I'm happy. He used to build PCs before I was born. They weren't gaming, but he has a lot of knowledge on it. That's cool. That seems like a fun thing to do with your dad. Damn. Oh, I paused my stream. Lamau. There we go. Now I'm actually watching for real. Oh my god, I'm view botting. I'm view botting. Mods, arrest him. He's view botting. YouTube, come get this guy. Yeah, but that's sick, building your own PC together with your dad. That sounds really fun. You want me to arrest you? I mean, I think YouTube would prefer if you did. For me, view botting like this. Having my own stream open on another tab. Heaven forbid, a young lad out in the streets just wants some success. How dare he? How fucking dare he? Yeah, looking at OBS while I'm using my keyboard now. Oh, it's night and day. Last time, yeah, we're getting some fucking ASMR clicks for like 6 hours straight. You didn't even said you'd build it together, dude. That's awesome. That's really exciting. It's a lot of fun. But yeah, I hope when that ends up panning out, I hope that works out. That sounds a lot of fun. Like you said, he used to do it, so I understand he'll probably not be able to like tell you what good parts are or are not. From my experience, it's not a golden rule, but I've been told there's sort of a pseudo a rule that you can loosely follow, which is if I'm sorry, how does it go again? Your CPU should be like a third of the price of your GPU at like minimum. Like there should be, I forget exactly what those numbers are because it's been a while, but there's certain price ratios that you hit with your part components comparatively to each other, and that's how you can prevent some certain bottlenecking. It's not a super like I know what I'm talking about kind of rule, but it's a helpful baseline to go off of. So when I saw that your CPU was like half the cost of your GPU, I knew instantly that your graphics card was going to bottleneck your system to kingdom fucking come. I knew that for certain. He said not to ask him about parts because he would never know. He just told me to do my research and buy the parts myself. Then he would buy the monitors for me. Monitors as well. You should get your head on what kind of monitors you want. Good start, by the way, about monitors plural. That is definitely the direction you want to head. You definitely want more than one monitor. There's no question about that. As I've said a couple times before on this stream, you get one monitor, or you get more than one monitor, your whole life will change forever. Like my dad is, bless his heart, love him to death. He is absolutely not a tech guy in any capacity. Just not at all. I've been helping him, like, set up a second monitor in his office because one of his 2 monitors has crapped out. Point is, he's had 2 monitors at his desk for, like, 15 years. He's been repping dual monitors, like, a lot longer than I have. It's a curse. You get a second monitor, your life changes. I was doing it back when my second monitor was my laptop screen. Monitors off Amazon are fucking expensive. I don't know what else to buy from. We don't have a micro center. Amazon prices aren't that bad. Um, the things you got to be looking out for, I think, and this is again from my personal experience, but like, I feel like the sweet spots to hit is you want, because there's a lot of different directions you can go for. I think you probably don't need to go any higher than 1440p monitors. And maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But like for regular consumer usage, watching streams and movies and stuff, like 4K is nice, right? But especially if like you're going for a bit more of a budget build, I don't know if you need it per se. And maybe I'm talking out my ass because I've never actually used a 4K monitor before, so I don't know what I'm talking about. That's completely possible. Even if it's 1080p, it works, it looks good and cheap. Okay. I will say, 1080p is also a fine point to go for. If you go 1080p, I'll tell you. So here's the thing about 1080p monitors. I think, and this is true for all kinds of monitors, size matters. So if I have a 27-inch monitor that is 1440p versus 1080p, obviously the 1440p is going to look better than the 1080p. But if you go down to 24 inches with your 1080p monitor, the picture quality is comparable. It's still like really nice because 1440p, 1080p, that's just a count of how many pixels are covering the screen. And that's a very basic explanation of it, because there's way more than 1080 pixels on the screen. But that's just a general pixel count. It's not how pretty the picture is. So when you go 1080p on these 27-inch monitors, the crystals, the pixels have to be bigger, because the crystals that display the image are bigger. That shit matters a lot. So I think if you really are very budget sensitive, I think 1080p on 24-inch monitors is fine. I personally recommend, like, I'll tell you what my monitors are. As someone who has a big grand spankin' PC that still can't run Borderlands without choking itself to death, I'll tell you what I use. I use 1440p monitors that are 27-inch, and here's the important part, is the hertz, the refresh rate. Refresh rate is ungodly important. I'm telling you, more important than pixel count and size, you want a monitor that can at least push like 144 hertz. Long story short, that is the refresh rate of the monitor. That's how many pictures appear on screen in a second. Both of my monitors are 165, which is kind of just like a, I don't know, it's a more common, I guess, in nowadays monitors. Do monitors have to work with the graphics card? Yes and no. I think what you're referring to is that there were glitches specific to certain graphics cards that would not work with certain monitors. It is not something you have to worry about on like a general sense. I don't think you have to think about that in any way. I don't think it will come up as a problem. It's a very niche problem. But yes, monitors, do not skimp out on refresh rates. And I'll tell you why. When you end up using a monitor, because like there's always this lie that people tell to make themselves feel better, is that the human eye can't comprehend higher frame rates than 60 frames a second, so there's no point in buying those higher end monitors. They are completely fucking wrong. They are absolutely, completely fucking wrong. Now, what the other side of the camp will try to sell you on, people who like high refresh rate monitors, is that 280 hertz is like the golden god of refresh rates. And they're not wrong. But outside of hyper intense, sweaty gaming, your eyes do not need to see more than 150, 160 frames a second to comparably get a proper image out of a game. Now, if you're a hyper CS sweat who needs literally every micrometer of what do you call it? Of like an edge, a competitive edge, then yeah, they'll use 280 refresh rate monitors for sure. But I don't know, for what I do and for what most people do, 165 is so worth the price, and going all the way up to 280 is just way more expensive and it's not worth it. And they'll usually like go for lower pixel counts on those monitors for a couple of reasons, but one of them being it's cheaper. You save money by lowering the pixel count, which I don't think is a fair trade-off if most of what you're going to do on your computer only needs like 100 and 140 frames per second. Like, I play games at like 200 and 300 frames a second because that actually changes what happens when I press buttons on my mouse or my keyboard. But my eyes aren't gonna help me anymore at those higher refresh rates. It's just not going to happen. So there's my TED talk on the sweet spot for refresh rates and pixel counts and all that stuff. I personally swear by the 27-inch monitors at 1440p at 165 hertz. Those are the ones that I use, and even when I've had to replace monitors, I get the same ones because I like it. Your eyes don't often need that much more than that. Yeah, so but like I said, if you get a 280 hertz monitor at 1080p, then watching Netflix like sucks, right? So I think it's a better like generalist build to go 1440p at 165 hertz. I'll pick out a few and send them to you later so you can tell me if they're legit or shit. I think probably the best of the best is, and this might sound a little corpo-pilled because it's what's currently seen. It's the most popular right now, and I usually don't like the thing that's the most popular, but I swear by my Omen. I have an Omen, and I swear by that shit. The picture quality, the coloring is really nice. At that point, you probably don't need to worry too much about it, but like, I tend to go for like a monitor like my Omen that's a lot better at like general stuff, being at clarity things, something that lets me tell the difference between certain shades of colors. So for heaven forbid I miss the shiny because my monitor sucks. Oh, I can't tell what fucking green is. I can't tell the difference between green and blue. Kill me. And then I have another monitor off to my side that's more so for picture quality. So like if I'm playing a game on this screen, I'll have a movie or something on that screen because it looks better on that screen. I buy those with those in mind. And that starts going into very minute stuff like color depth and that kind of stuff that I usually don't worry too much about. Do you remember how much your monitor was? It was, I think both of my monitors right now were in between $150 and $200 each, if I remember correctly. Like I didn't skimp out on them, right? They're not cheap. Because that's the thing, is people are like, that's a trap you need to not fall for as well. Also, give me a second here. Good lord, I'm not gonna sniffle all that much. But yeah, that's another problem that you fall into when you build PCs, is you're like, I have a budget for $1,200 for a PC. Here's my $1,200 PC. And it's like, oh, okay, cool. So what about the mouse and the keyboard and the monitors and the cables and anything else you may want? Like a camera, headphones for sound, a microphone. What else? You got a lot more money to spend. Job's not done. I saw one on Amazon for $300 or more. Legitimately, link me that one. Because that sounds like you're running into some of those problems I was talking about earlier. Maybe too high a refresh rate, too high of a pixel count. Well, I won't say anything about pixel count, because, like, if you want to splurge on getting a 4K monitor to watch movies, I'm not gonna judge. Like, honestly, I like that. If I had a job right now, my next step would splurge on a 4K monitor just to live life, just to have one over here. But like, it doesn't even really matter for movies unless you have the raw file. I really want to watch Evangelion in 4K. Now here's the thing. I hate to crush your dreams, but like, it's not gonna make a difference because the video file is gonna be 1080p at most. Like, most everything I've ever watched on my computer ever, or even anything ever, other than like movie theaters, the file size at most streams at like 1080p. Sometimes you'll occasionally get like 1440p, which my monitor is actually like, it's like, holy shit, wow. A 1440p video, wow. Impressive. It's not common. So I don't think, like, getting a 4K monitor is specifically for gaming, where graphics can upscale as high as your monitors and computer can handle. That's why there's all this rage about 4K monitors and all this other stuff. Now, how much does that matter for like TVs and stuff? Like if you're like satellite recording stuff, I actually don't know. That's a thing I'm very unknowledgeable about, so I don't know that kind of stuff. So that's why I hesitate to like, oh, you shouldn't get a 4K monitor. I don't want to spread misinformation. I don't know. Oh, you meant the original Evangelion. Yeah, hell no. That shit was like 360p back then, and that was like, whoa, so graphic, whoa. That shit, 360p back in the day would fucking hit. Dude, when YouTube started, like, 240p was like, alright, maybe even 144p. I don't know what it was at the very beginning of YouTube, but like back when I was watching YouTube, I remember like the Markiplier video that released the day that YouTube could have higher pixel. I remember like a couple of instances where like, oh my god, this video can be in 480p? Whoa! And then like a couple years later, 720, 60 FPS? Can my iPhone even handle that? Like, I remember these things. Nowadays, certain streamers can stream on YouTube in 4K. How many streamers do it? Like, fucking none of them. Like, nobody does it. But you can. It's there. The ball's in your court. You can get the 4K monitor for those guys if that's what you want. But for most usage, I have not, like, missed out on having less than 4K. Having my max being 1440p. I don't think I've ever felt like, oh man, fuck. I wish I had a 4K right now. And maybe I don't know what, and again, as I've said before, maybe I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Maybe I get a 4K monitor and I load up fucking Borderlands 3 and I'm like, I see the face of God! You know what I mean? Like, maybe my life changes when I get a 4K monitor and start playing some games on that shit. But for now, I'll say 1440p is kind of where I top out. One person posted a series with that was 4K only for P3R. They don't have like their max is like 720p before P3R, and then they play P3R in 4K. Hey guys, decided this game was important enough to step up my quality just a little bit. Like you're watching him in 60 frames a second for the first time. Oh man. So funny. Oh dude. Oh man, like I talk very... I'm gonna actually just like blow my nose real quick. Give me a couple seconds here. This is like annoying how much I had to sniffle. Okay, hopefully I have slain the beast. But yes, I don't know. I don't remember exactly what we were talking about. Oh yeah, I talked a little bit about. I'm still sniffling, dude. This is just gonna be fucked up. Why do I have the sniffles? I kill me. No, I don't want this. Go away. Anyway. Yeah, so yesterday I talked very minorly about it, but there's a show that I'm watching, and the season finale actually, like, made me emotionally distraught. Like, it wasn't like I was sad. It wasn't like I was boo-hooing, like, I can't go stream when I'm crying like this, it's so sad. But I was like, I am not in the mood to attempt entertaining people right now. Like, oh, fuck. Dude, it's exactly, yes, it felt like End of Evangelion. Can you imagine trying to stream to a live audience after End of Evangelion? That's how I felt. It was like, oh, fuck, dude, no. Oh, god damn it. It was fucking soul crushing. It was very heavy, and I want to talk a little bit about the moment, so I'm not going to say what show it is. And if you know, you know, and if you don't, then you don't care. This is a semi-popular show. I doubt people here know what it is, but anyway, I'll stop stalling. There's the season finale is this episode where the entire time this character is, like, planning their own death so that their successor can take over his business. That's the whole point of the episode, is they want to, like, give this character their final goodbyes, get them to, like, contemplate their life and think about the things that they've done and why they've lived their life, because their whole plan is to protect the life of their successor so that they can one day take over this business and be strong enough to survive in the world around them. It's the whole point of the episode. Like, my entire life's work has been, I've spent the past 3 decades protecting you and preparing you for this exact moment where I die and you take over the reins. And in the last minute of this 40 episode build up to this character's death, the successor gets shot and dies. And I was like, oh, fuck! Oh, shit, it was bad. I was like, stop, what the fuck? That shit was brutal. Just complete plot twist. Yeah, the successor's dead and we don't know, and just, it's this feeling of like, what do we even do now? I tried watching the next episode today and I was like, I can't, it's so, the beginning of the next season is so brutal. I can't even watch it. I'm like, fuck, no. They like time skip and everyone's still like really fucking depressed and it's like, oh, god damn it. It was heavy. It was fucking brutal. But like I said, it's not like, I mean, it's obviously very sad. It's like 8 seasons into a show where essentially the main character dies. But like, I wasn't even sad. I was just like, I felt my soul being ripped out of my body. And I was like, I can't stream like this. Let me go fucking watch an hour of silly, funny YouTubers, and then I'll be in the mood to stream Persona. Like, I couldn't go straight from that to streaming. You can't make me, goddammit. You can't make me. Oh, I'm not in the grace. How long do you think it'll take for me to accidentally fight that runner down there? I actually don't think he's a trainer. But if he is, how long do you think it'll take for me to accidentally fight him? 2 hours? Oh, so it'll happen tonight. Got it. God damn it. You know what? Fuck it. I'm ripping the bandage off. Are you? You know what? No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I don't want to get into a battle right now. I want to hunt. I want to shiny hunt my Pokemon. Oh man. So yeah, that's my little explanation about why I was a little bitch yesterday. That shit was heavy. um, so yeah. So how are y'all doing? Yeah, I'm running out of conversation points already. I really need to do what was mentioned as a joke earlier, where I do one of these as like a recorded video where I'm not live, not in front of anybody, and I just upload the raw, unedited like 4 hour VOD of just me playing by myself. I need to get back in the practice of just like yapping and talking into the camera into nothingness, because I got good at it. I got damn good at talking to nobody. As was mentioned by Gecko earlier, like the ramblings of a psychopath. Dude, that's why I did this. When I started this, it wasn't for the viewers or for anything. I just wanted to create art. I would not consider this like Picasso art or anything, but this is, I would consider this on the same level of like, you know, artists, like internet artists. Like, not anything worth putting in a museum or like, like this is the greatest moment of streaming, but like the same way that like someone goes on a Tumblr and like, hey, here's doodles of my OC. Like, this is that level of art for me. And so I was perfectly comfortable sitting in front of a camera just doing what I would do normally in the quiet of my bedroom, is to just talk to nobody. Push it out of myself a little bit more than usual, because like, sometimes there'll be lulls where I don't talk. But like, even when I'm playing by myself, there's shit I like want to say and react to and stuff, and getting myself on camera was an excuse to not feel like a psychopath doing it. Which is definitely not doing me any I'm not a psychopath favors. But regardless, we're here now. I mentioned it before, probably, but I'm gonna say it again. When I saw the hospital scene in End of Evangelion, oh fucking of course this. Oh, that's another streamer skill I need to learn. I need to read comments before I start reading them aloud. And since I have such a small, viewer base of fucking 2 people, I should be a lot better about it than someone who has 10,000 viewers and has to read comments quick. Point is, I need to get better at that. Anyway, I honestly thought about stopping the movie and never coming back. That's entirely fair. That's not even the heaviest part. Like, that's not even something joke about heavy load something. But like that, the ending scene, I feel like just leaves you with this like this dread. This just That's kind of how I felt before yesterday's stream, so that explains the delay of game. Actually, I should... Give me a second here. Pause just in case that matters. We'll keep the timer running during this. I want to keep it in my notes. How many... what time actually passed. And then... So that way, like, I have an actual... whatever. I don't need to explain myself. I'm fumbling to try and explain myself. The hardest part was Asuka's death. You think I'm thinking of a different character or you're thinking of a different character? Do you mean the beer drinking woman? Do I have my names wrong or do you have your names wrong? Because Asuka is the German girl who definitely is not dead in the final scene of the show. Or, well, maybe I don't know. I never really thought about that. I was always just like, oh, she survived the birds fucking jumping on her and attacking her to death. Because she's in the final scene of the movie. So I was like, oh, she survived that. Good for her. Maybe she did die and that's all in Shinji's head. I haven't thought about that, actually. Is it Mikasa? No, that's from Attack on Titan. Mikasa, Sukasa. That's Attack on Titan for sure. You want to know something very cool about Generation 4? Here's another random tangent. This is what I did when I talked to myself. I went on random tangents all the fucking time. I had uncontrolled ADHD just reigning supreme over the stream. Want to know a fun fact about this game that I'm playing right here? Is that 9/11. I'm not. Hey, don't get it twisted. I'm literally gonna talk about 9/11 right now. 9/11 is an optimal time to switch your DS to for speedrunning purposes. This is not a joke, because what was already known for a long time in the code filings of the game is that on certain days of the year, certain differences would happen. Two mainly. On days of, like, great importance, like Satoru Iwata's birthday, that kind of stuff. Oh, we'll go back to the Attack on Titan, or the Evangelion stuff in a little bit, but I'm rambling now. What was I gonna say? Yeah, so like on big important days, like the birthday of Iwata and that kind of shit, two things would happen. First of all, in places where snow was happening, it would actually be what's called crystal snow, which apparently decreases or increases frame rate in those snowy areas. It allows the DS to perform better in those areas. And the second thing is that Pokemon spawn 10% more often. So those times were not seen as good to speedrun on. But during a relatively recent data leak from Nintendo, we got some source files for Pokemon DPP. And one of them is a line about Days of Remembrance, which is the exact opposite of Days of Celebration. One of those Days of Remembrance is 9/11. And one of the things that happens on 9/11 is that Pokemon spawn at a 10% decreased rate. So for speedrunning, to get less random encounters, you could switch your game to 9/11. If you were doing a category that doesn't use a seeded starter. But most people do use seeded starters because it's so consistent. You can be like, if you play frame perfectly for like the first 3 or 4 minutes, yeah, 9/11's officially canon in Pokemon. Yeah, absolutely. Unova has not shaken off that day. Anyway, what was I gonna say? Yeah. When that shit happens, or no, I'm sorry. Yes, okay. So, the reason that that's kind of not used, I mean, you probably could find a seed on 9/11 for this, but basically, if you play from an exact frame perfect start point and play frame perfectly for the first 3 to 4 minutes, which is definitely not as hard as I'm making it sound. It's actually quite easy to play frame perfectly because there's a lot of buffer systems with movement in this game. So if you play quote-unquote frame perfectly for the first 3 minutes, you can guarantee, like, the greatest Chimchar of all time. Like, a perfect attack IV, perfect nature, perfect speed. You can make the perfect speedrunning Pokemon. You can extend that even further if you're, like, crazy and catch like a perfect Starly or something, but you know, in speedrunning you really only use one Pokemon, so I don't think oh, my repel ran out. Oh, okay. I'll count the encounter, but I forgot to reset my repel. My bad. Goodbye, Abra. Yeah, there's an interesting little tidbit for you. Is you could potentially make a route that involves using 9/11 for a perfect speedrun of Pokemon DPP. Ain't that swell? Alright, time for the conversation. Shaboing, shaboing, we'll go back to talk about Evangelion. It's ambiguous, but I personally think she died, but came back after everyone. That would explain why Shinji tried to myrtleize her with him hands. It's super ambiguous up to interpretation, but like, I never really considered the fact that she probably died when that happened. I was always just like, oh, there she is, she's fine. Also, fun fact about the whole Adam and Eve part of that theory is that, I think it's not, first of all, I know it's not possible to do without severe genetic repercussions. Because I think the amount of people required to recreate a species without genetic issue, I think it's like 100-ish. There's some golden number you need to hit to make it so that there's no genetic mutations as a response to inbreeding. But maybe that's more so applied to animals, because like they'll breed with randomness. But like, if it's humans, you could probably get away with like 5 to 10 pairings and just say you cannot have sex with this group ever. And you could probably repopulate the earth with like 15, 20 people. I'm sure that would be enough. But like with animals who just fuck whoever, whenever, however, I think you need at least 100 before genetic mutations no longer become a problem. Also, fun fact about genetic mutations is it's kind of a thing that, like, apparently, you know, like the keeping the purity of the bloodlines kind of thing. Apparently, that shit works if you just brute force through all the genetic nightmares. Like, if you wanted to be a psychopath and, like, if it doesn't come out genetically, like, you know, with no horrific mutations, if you just fucking kill them and just brute force until you hit one that is good, apparently that, like, works. Not just like, oh yeah, we can make a normal human if we try like 100 times. I mean, like, the concept of, like, that being a step above is true. Now, that's one of those things that doesn't work off of paper. On paper, sure, it's possible, but the kinds of things you have to do to accomplish it, it's like shiny hunting. If I legitimately had to hit every Marill in the head with a rail spike to get the next one, oh, and also, I have to wait, like, a long time between encounters. Like, it's just, it's not, it's horrific to even consider, but, like, technically, science says it's possible, which I think is horrifying. These Marills get to experience what the Gen 3 ones had to go through. I haven't had to do that yet. I hit one. Now, the distinct difference here is that without a critical hit, I cannot kill these Marill. There's no... I mean, it would have to be, I think, 0 IV and a minus defense nature for it to be even close. But, like, if I don't crit... Oh, yeah, the crazy conversations, of course, yeah. We're talking... This time, we're talking specifically about them. They're not hearing, like, my back end, like, personal psychology stuff. They're hearing, like, yeah, you know, if we keep killing you guys, we can get the perfect one. I take it to hear psychotic shit this time around. That's the theme of this run, is that now they hear insane shit. Oh man, and they're gonna hear it for a lot longer, because goddamn, this run's gonna be way fucking longer than the last one. Oh my god, we're gonna be here. I mean, my god. We would have been in Hoenn for a lot longer if we didn't get really lucky with Emerald. But, like, this one? Dude, we do not have the same encounter sets we did before. Like, the encounters take so much longer. Sometimes a little quicker, actually, because we don't have to menu. but like with having to go in the bag to get more repels, and how sometimes you just go a long time without getting any encounters, and the fact that we're playing Platinum, which is already slower, and we have a 20% chance to not encounter a Marill, this is, this run's got a bit of different teeth than the last one. Shit's gonna take longer than last time for certain. I can guarantee it. Well, technically I can't guarantee it. We could literally get 2 shinies back to back right here. But in general, I would stake your claim on the idea that this is the long one. And it's not even the longest one. By pure math, Black and White's gonna be way worse. And by skill, Gen 6 is probably gonna be worse because I'm gonna keep fucking up the radar. I'm gonna keep fucking up my chain on the radar in Gen 6. And then Gen 7, oh, I still don't want to think about Gen 7, man. I don't want to think about, don't make me think about it, please. You know what is crazy I just thought about? If I play this stream long enough, Kirby Air Riders might come out. We might pivot the stream, and if I did that, I would end stream and start a new one. But I am so down to play Kirby Air Riders for a couple hours tonight. That sounds fun as fuck. I said I was getting out of my Evangelion phase, and yet here I am. Well, let's. Also, I don't think YouTube chat is working properly. Oh no, I've seen Nightbot show up a couple times. No, she's working fine. Well, are you like invested in it again, or are you just bringing it up in conversation here? Because those are 2 different things. If you're just talking about it, who cares? That's not getting back into it. Ooh. Oh, I wish you guys could feel what I just did to my back. Oh, I feel healed. And both. You know what what's been getting into my recommended more and more often? You know what? No, no, you know what? I don't want to guess, because I think the real answer will be far more embarrassing than any guess you can make. I'm being flooded with Kingdom Hearts stuff again. I think that's because I looked up like 1 or 2 videos on something. Who's your therapist likes Evangelion? That's a great talking point. That's fun. But yes, fucking, my mind is like geared towards Kingdom Hearts again. Dog. Kingdom Hearts 2 is so fucking fun. Oh, it's so good. Kingdom Hearts 2 is like chef's fucking kiss game. That like serious, and I'm not exaggerating here. Seriously, that's like it's like such a good game. You force your therapist to watch Evangelion. You'll understand my twisted psyche better if you watch this fucked up show. Nah, I know I didn't like that, but that's a funny thought. But yes, dude, Kingdom Hearts 2 is such a phenomenal video game. Oh my Neptune. Oh sweet, oh dear Neptune. That's one of the fucking best games of all time. I'd seriously consider it like a top 10 video game for me. She's never watched anime before. Oh man. Is she like old? Has she not watched anime because she's old, or has she not watched anime because that's just not something she's ever been interested in, and you got her into it? Both answers are very funny. If you got like a 60-year-old woman in her early 30s, yeah, okay. I was gonna say, if you got like a 60-year-old to watch anime for the first time and you showed her Evangelion, you're like, that's fucked up and very funny. Someone in their 30s, that's, yeah, you know, I'm trying to think. Yeah, I don't think anime was like completely far out. When they were in, depending on what part of the 30s they are in, they were probably growing up in a world that like anime was super weird to be interested in. And even when I was growing up, it was still like, oh, yeah, I don't really watch anime or whatever, and then they think differently about you. Nowadays, anime is like cool. Not cool's a strong word, but like, you know, you talk to someone about anime, they're like, oh, okay. Then you tell them you're like a big anime fan and you have a body pillow, they're like, oh. Not that I would know anything about that. I just own like $400 worth of Pokemon plushies. Definitely not the same. We're not the same. May have made her an anime fan. That is quite, regardless, that's quite the crazy show to start with. That is quite the fuck. Wow, one step for an encounter. Big one right here. Boom. At least it's a Marill. That's a quite crazy first anime to show somebody. Because, like, that's how I also feel about Attack on Titan. Like, it's such a good anime, but, like, would I really think showing that to somebody as their first anime? I don't know. See, that's actually, you know what? I just had a thought I've never had before. The reasons I say you don't want to show someone Attack on Titan first is because of just how, like, jarringly brutal it is. And not just, like... And this is what makes it different from Full Metal Alchemist. Not just in the first episode, but, like, the whole show's tone is just super, like, heavy and depressing. And it even starts off in this, like, crazy, brutal, like, everyone around you dying kind of thing. Is that really someone's first intro to anime? And my mind has always been Full Metal Alchemist. And I just thought, like, Full Metal Alchemist is, like, a perfect show to show someone for the first time. And I just thought about it. That show starts off really fucking brutal as well. Like, the opening of that show is, like, horrendous. Well, that depends on the version of it you watch. But I recommend Brotherhood because I think Brotherhood's better than the original anime. And yeah, that starts off brutal and fucked up. I don't know. But I think Full Metal Alchemist has a bit of a lighter vibe than something like Attack on Titan, so maybe a little bit better to show somebody as their first anime. But oh man, it's a hard sell. You know, I'm not a huge anime fan. I've only watched a few. I used to watch a lot more back in my day. Back when I was a wee little munchkin. I watched a little bit more anime. Oh, that's why I don't want to put the camera there, the mic there. It's probably about as high as we're gonna go with it, but I want it, like, out of bonk my head range. Hope it doesn't affect the sound too much. I don't think it has. I think it's fine here. Yeah, it'll be fine there. But yeah, I really have not been watching, like, any anime lately. The show I was talking about earlier, it's like a TV drama show. It's not an anime. It's a live action show. Oh, you said the golden fucking word. Death Note seems cool, but I don't know if that's because I'm an edgy teenager. I will tell you. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, motherfucker. Death Note is my favorite anime. And I have to say that it is my favorite anime because it is the only anime I have watched all the way through more than twice. I don't do that with anything. I watch something once, I might look back at it to remember certain parts, but I never rewatch a whole show. I do that shit with Death Note, like, I've maybe watched it 4 times. Cause it's, I don't want to spoil the, like, viewing experience of the show, but on your first watch through, not just cause of edgy teenager kind of shit, it is very good. I think that show is very compelling and very worth watching. You watched Evangelion 3 times? See, like, that's the thing. Like, I'm not that kind of person who does that kind of stuff. So when I watched an anime 4 times, and now that you've talked about this, maybe my 5th is around the corner, like, that's gotta mean something. And I will say this. Like, once you already know kind of what's happening, the vibe shifts a little bit. Because on your first viewing, it's like, oh my god, this is so compelling. How the hell is this gonna play out? But when you already know how it's gonna play out, I don't even want to say this because it might like ruin the vibes of it. But let's just say it's a very different experience when you already know what's going to happen. It's more like a spectacle. It's more like you know what it's funny knowing what's coming. There's some comedy that's created by like, oh shit, he's about to do this thing. Holy shit. I highly recommend it. I highly recommend it. If you have some qualms about it being like edgy or weird, it's so compelling. It's so exciting seeing hyper intelligent characters like Light and L have their like mental battle. Like it's really good. It's really compelling. The demon guy Ryuk, the Shinigami, very funny. Also, one of the I have it is a very 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 short list of anime before 2020 that I think is worth watching subbed and dubbed. I think Death Note is worth both. Because usually when it comes to anime, and I don't think it's because I've gotten older. I think it is genuinely because the format has improved a lot in recent times. Subtitles versus dubbing I was always subtitles because watching the characters move outside of the way they speak was very jarring. And I'm not just talking about like lip flaps. I mean like body movements and like gestures. The timing would be off if they're talking in a different language, and they would have to strain themselves. Have you ever seen the awkward anime thing where like characters like the biggest example? Oh, there's an Ultra Ball there. What the fuck? one of the Marills getting captured in that. I didn't send a repel. Whatever. I got an Ultra Ball. I don't care. It was a Marill. Oh. Anyway, fuck. I went on 3 different tangents. That's the most my brain can handle before I forget what I was talking about earlier. Death Note, right? Oh yeah, dubbing and subbing. Yes. Okay. It's a very short list because like body gestures don't work right. Yes, I remember now. So for example, when a character in a show does something jarring where they go like, say what? Like they have to like really stretch themselves, when in the anime, in the subtitling, it was just them going, ah? And it doesn't work because that is like the Japanese way to say like what that's their like what the fuck? It's stuff that doesn't work across the language barrier. But I think in recent times they've gotten a lot better about that kind of stuff. And I think that the shows that don't have that kind of stuff, and it's not just that kind of stuff either. It's just like in general, like moving your hands with the tempo of your speaking, or like the cadence in your speech, and like the circadian rhythm of the words that you're using. It doesn't work for subtitling, but there's just so much money in it. There's so much more talent in it. There's decades of coaching experience in that department that dubbing has become really fucking good nowadays. I think the sub versus dub debate is kind of over. It's only for real purists at this point, and especially when you talk about older shows. But for newer shows, dubbing's alright. There's still my complaints about it, but it's genuinely alright. Back in the day, though, not the fucking case. Back when Death Note came out, definitely not the fucking case. But I think the dub for Death Note, the English dub for Death Note, is really fucking quality. It's really nice. There's a very small handful of shows that I think work in dub versus sub. For example, Evangelion, I don't think works for dub. A show that came out around that time, Cowboy Bebop, I think does, but Evangelion does not work. The dubbing is not on that same level. But Death Note got a good dubbing. Got some good dubbing. Damn, you got me talking about my favorite show. God damn it. Honestly, on Discord, send me a list of anime to watch. I'll try my hardest to watch them. Like you forced yourself to play Persona. I mean, I can send you I can put together a list of good shows to watch. I think what it boils down to is like Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, Death Note, and other than telling everybody on the planet they should watch One Piece, I think that's kind of it. But I always feel a little guilty telling people they should watch One Piece, because I think it is one of the. I think it is a monumental, incredible, I have nothing but great things to talk about One Piece. But if you look at 1,182 episodes or however fucking long it is nowadays, if you look at that and are like, that's not what I'm gonna do, I understand. But if you ever decide to bite the bullet, I'm telling you, you'll be hooked in 3 to 4 episodes. I promise you, you will. Maybe it might take you a little longer. It might take you 6, 7. Assassinated immediately. I didn't kill myself there. YouTube, I did not kill myself. I was shot by somebody else. Someone came up from behind me and just went. Anyway, let me catch up on chat here. I'm not picky about that stuff because I couldn't do better. I thought Evangelion was fine dubbed. I mean, like I said, I'm not talking about acceptable. I think Evangelion has an acceptable dubbing. I'm talking about, like, genuinely good. I think that, and maybe I haven't seen Evangelion's dub in a while. Maybe I'm just wrong. I don't know. But I remember it not being, like, I watched an episode of it, like, the next episode that queued up was queued as a dub on accident, and I was like, oh. But maybe that was more so because the voices didn't match the sounds in my head, and I was weird and young. I should watch those again just to make sure that's not a bullshit point. But I genuinely think Death Note's dub is, like, quality. Not just like, oh, okay, I'll watch it dubbed. But, like, I think it's a genuinely good way to watch the show. That doesn't happen very often before, like, 2015, 2020. But yeah, yeah, Death Note and Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, not necessarily in that order, are like the greatest anime of all time. Matter of fact, let me do something here. Let me do a thing here. Okay, I went to look at my Crunchyroll watch list, and the first thing that shows up on my screen is fucking, is One Piece. That's really funny. Oh my fucking god, you need to watch Dan to Dan. Now, you want to talk about a show that has a good dub and a good sub? I think they're both supremely good. Like, Dan to Dan is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. Anime nowadays has fucking unbelievable dubbing. Dan to Dan's dub is, like, really good. Yes. You watched episode 1? Oh, the curse begins. No, Dan to Dan is... I think that's the greatest anime that's come out in like, the past 2-ish years. I don't know. Frieren exists as well. Yeah, if you want to talk about, like, current anime that's really worth watching, I'll give you that list right now. That shit is Dan, absolutely. That shit is Frieren, abso-fucking-lutely. Also Dungeon Meshi, or, what's it called in English? It's, I have the manga on my shelf back there, but it's the one where they go into a dungeon and they have to survive off of the monsters in there for food. And they learn how to be, like, really good chefs off of the monsters inside a dungeon. That's a really good one. Frieren is incredible, like I mentioned earlier. I'm stalling for my brain so that I get a moment to look at this shit. Oh yeah, the Apothecary Diaries is quite quality as well. Shoutouts to Weary for pointing me in that direction. I thought that was really high quality. Dr. Stone. Oh, Dr. Stone's a personal favorite of mine. Oh, Dr. Stone's a fucking good one. There's another one. It's not currently finished. Actually, it might be. I don't know. I haven't caught up with it lately. But, oh, Dr. Stone's another one where I've watched the first 2 seasons multiple times. Like I said, it's rare air for me to watch a season more than once. And I did that shit with Dr. Stone. Very phenomenal show. so anime yet so unique. And if you want to start, like, I'm not usually it's funny, I used to be when I was younger, but I am not that big on like romance animes nowadays. When it comes to the movies, I feel a little different because romance movies are more about the like the sadness and the like oh kind of vibes more so than the animes are. So I usually tend to like the more dour quote unquote romance movie animes. But in terms of anime shows, there has never been. Well, actually, there's two for very different reasons. There are two romance anime that I fucking swear by. I I kind of here. I'll get to your point in a little bit, Gecko. But I kind of get your point. But there are two romance anime that I absolutely swear by for completely different reasons. First one, quintessential quintuplets. Quintessential quintuplets. That is quite the show. Also, my dad is home. I didn't think he was going to do that tonight. Well, that might be the stream ending a little bit earlier than I want. But that's fine. I had something I wanted to do. Oh yeah, I have to get my laptop from his office. That's what I want to do. Anyway, quintessential quintuplets. It's good. It's good. Watch Fruit Baskets. My sister loves that show. That was like the first anime she ever watched, so I watched it, and I'll tell you, it's not bad, but it's not on my like you need to watch this list. I'm telling you, quintessential quintuplets, fucking mint. Like genuinely, like not. It doesn't run into the. There's very little of that like we're gonna be horny hee hee ha ha moments. It is very like it's just a good high school romance. I don't know what to tell you. It's the concept is you have this character who is a loner and fucking hates hanging around people, needs to make money by becoming a tutor. And it turns out not only is he becoming a tutor, but he's becoming a tutor with a set of quintuplets. And because of his actions in the first episode, all 5 of them have their own reasons for absolutely hating him. And he has to, like, break through that outer shell of hatred to get them to, like, appreciate him enough to, like, let him tutor them because they're all about to fail out of school. And it goes too far. As the episodes don't droll on, it is less about it very quickly becomes an overcorrection. Now instead of they hate me and I need to get them to like me, it very quickly becomes, oh god, all 5 of these women are like madly in love with me. What the fuck do I do? It's good. It's compelling, I promise. I'm trying to defend myself, like, it's better than most, I swear. But it is compelling. It's you wouldn't think it's really good, but it's fucking incredible. So that is a good romance anime because it's just good at being a romance anime. The other one is a good romance anime because it is one of the funniest shows ever. Love is War. Kaguya-sama Love is War. That anime. Ooh. That shit is funny, bro. That shit's one of the funniest shows ever. Like I think Dan Dan is one of the greatest anime made in recent times, and I think that it is quite the funny show in its own right. But Love is War is comedy first. It is a comedy-centric show about 2 characters that don't want to make the first move. They have a crush on each other, and neither one wants to look weak by making the first move, and they take themselves very seriously because they're both very smart and well respected, so they think it's a sign of weakness to make the first move, so they're like goading each other, like hey, here's an opportunity for him to make the first move, and like it's really funny. It's one of the funniest shows I've ever seen in my life. It's very good. So yeah, there's my list. Let's list it off the top of my head. Love is War, Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, Death Note, Doctor Stone, Dan Dan, Quintessential Quintuplets, and I'm forgetting one, Apothecary Diaries, which I didn't talk about very much because it's quite great. I don't like it that much. Or, I mean, I don't like it on the same level of this stuff, but it's still really good. Oh, I shouldn't have scrolled around, dude. Ranking of Kings is also another fucking unbelievably good anime. Oh my god. Oh, the one with the deer girl. Naka Koshkantan, or whatever the fucking intro does. Shika naka noko naka koshkantan. Shiko naka noko naka koshkantan. I have not seen that one either, but that looks really funny too. That looks really funny as well. Like I said, I don't watch much anime nowadays. Like, when I do, I need, like, this is the thing with getting old, and maybe it's different because I'm unemployed now, but like, if I'm gonna sit down and watch a show or watch an anime or something, it really needs a stamp of approval, whether by like me seeing some clips of it and feeling very compelled to watch it, or that it needs the seal of approval from, like, for example, Weary. Like, I need him to, like, this show is good. But like, he and I are both adults with a lot of work to do, and a lot of time, a lot less free time on our hands than usual. So like, I don't hear his recommendations as much anymore, and I don't see enough stuff to get my seal of approval on some things. That show, for example, showed up a lot in my YouTube shorts. The show I was talking about earlier today showed up a lot in my YouTube shorts, and it's I was very compelled by the clips of the character they kept using, and I was like, I want to see him do more shit in this show. I want to keep watching. So that's how I got to where I am now. I'm 8 seasons deep. That's how that went. I like the first episode, besides the girl who almost gets R-worded by aliens. Yeah. You want me to teach you a funny thing? Let me see. Oh no, never mind. Never mind. Forget what I'm saying. There's no more funnies to be had. Goodbye, funnies. No funnies. Forget what I'm saying. Anyway, yeah, let's talk about Dan to Dan, because you... Okay. Hello. How are you? How's everything?
Good.
Good.
Honey's getting better, so I'm really, really tired.
Yeah, no worries. I'll keep it down in here. Love you. Yeah. He, just to get it. Well, I'll talk about it a little more later, but, like, he went out of town to go visit my grandfather, because my grandfather is in his early 80s and is suffering from dementia, and a couple days ago had a really nasty spout of pneumonia that we did not know if he was going to survive. I laugh because that is my defense mechanism to heavy news like that, but up until about sometime before lunch today, I was like, my grandfather might die. So that's cool. Anyway, he's back from that, so he's exhausted, so I'm gonna tread lightly. I'm not gonna push his buttons tonight. Which means I'll move the mic a little closer and turn up the gain on my microphone a little bit. Just a touch. Just to y'all can tell me if this is too much. And we're gonna turn the volume in my ears down a little bit, so that I'm more compelled to speak in softer, dulcet tones. See? This is how
This is how you treat your father with respect when he's like, you're being too loud. We handle our shit here. Ladies and gentlemen on the Seabass 223 stream, we handle our late night vibes nice and well. Your aunt, grandma, and grandpa have died within 2 years. Yikes, I'm sorry to hear that, that's rough. On my mother's side, we lost both of my grandparents pretty early on. Oh my god, it's almost been like 20 years since my grandfather died. It might have already been. Actually, it probably was 20 years since my grandfather died. Almost 20 since my grandma died. Wow. But on my dad's side, they're both still alive. And so that's going to be a little bit more of a blow for me personally, because they've been in my life my whole life. Yeah, my family is quite big. On my dad's side alone, my grandfather had 5 children, and 2 of those children only had 2 kids. 2 of them had 3 kids, my dad included, and 1 of them had 4 kids. And I think wow, yeah. I think only 4 of them are unmarried right now. Or / unengaged. Myself, my sister, one of my girl cousins, and actually it's 2 of my other girl cousins as well. So only like 4 or 5 of us are unmarried, and half of those married ones already have kids. So my dad's side of the family, we're also very interconnected with each other. We spend a lot of time around each other. Get the whole gaggle of people together at least 2 to 3 times a year, and so yeah, it's gonna be a big deal when my grandpa finally goes, but seems like he's recovering, so that's good to know. Yeah, very very big family on my dad's side. Anyway, we were talking about something a lot more fun than possibly dead relatives. It was Dan to Dan. Yes. I don't want to make stream sad, but I have a whole branch of my half siblings. My bio dad is stupid. Oh, I see. Okay, so you're with your adoptive father right now. That's cool. That's very nice. I'm glad that worked out. That's cool. He wants to build a computer with you. Sounds fun. Or is it? Maybe I've misread the statement earlier, but yeah, I hope your situation is good. It sounds like you have a good relationship with what I assume is your adoptive dad, because you're a stepfather. Yeah, your stepfather. Yeah, or I'm confused. Point is, the man who's building a computer with you, I'm glad you two have a good relationship with that kind of stuff. That's fun. But yeah. I don't have a whole heck of a lot of experience there. I've been very blessed with a good family on both sides, so I'm very happy about that kind of stuff. I am thankful for it, and this kind of stuff with my grandfather kind of reminds me of that. That I should be using some of my time unemployed to spend more time with them. My cousin, he's 2 years younger than me, and he got engaged last week. And that's like ooh, where did I go so wrong? I feel like a dagger in my chest. Your dad, who's named Chris, is my stepfather, but he's as close to bio dad as I ever want to experience. That's really sweet. See, that's the kind of shit that I like. That shit's cool. I grew up with a friend who was adopted very early in his life, and had some rough times growing up. A lot of angst, a lot of anger. And as he's gotten to the age that we're at now, he's reforming some of those connections with his adoptive parents, and that makes me happy. That makes me really happy. Like, I went to the Ren Fest with him, and on the way, we went to a bank to go grab some cash. Just so happens we went to his adoptive dad's bank, and he was in the parking lot when we got there, and we're like, oh shit. Like, dude, I went to this guy's house like 30 times growing up. I drove ATVs in this guy's backyard. Fuck yeah. It's a really cool moment for me. But it's like, yeah, it's cool. He's rekindling that connection despite what they went through. Yeah, I think having good relationship with your parents is nice. And whether it's your biological dad or the man who stepped up in your life to be your father, I think both is fucking beautiful. I think both of those things are really beautiful. Remember, Nightbot's here for a reason. Stay hydrated, folks. Maybe I do have to turn Nightbot down again. The timers I have for Nightbot, I think, are set for more, like... What do you call it? I think they're sent for more chat-heavy streams, but I need to turn them down in general. This stream is interesting. Hey, this is... You're kind of along for the ride. This is kind of what the shit is like when I was doing this just by my insano self. This is what it was like. God, I really hope I don't forget to not save. I really hope I don't. I don't think I'm gonna forget today, but one of these streams, I'm gonna have like 2 repels left, and I'm gonna save, and I'll be like, oh fuck. That's gonna be not fun. Well, there's actually some reason behind that. Where like these kinds of conversations come out when we're doing these shiny hunts. It's because we need something to fill our brains with. I don't know about you, but me, usually, I spend most of my time distracting myself from the horrors of reality. And doing something like this is kind of therapeutic in a way. That's how I've mentioned it in a lot of previous shiny hunting streams, where like just sitting here talking to yourself and shiny hunting ends up being semi-therapeutic because your mind just wanders into shit because you're allowing yourself. There's a term for it that I'm sure I'm gonna go like later, but right now I can't really think of what it is. But yes, it allows us to be introspective and gives us time to think about the things that are going on in our lives. And so they just kind of bubble up especially when you're in my position and you're just kind of talking off the cuff of whatever's in your head. It ends up talking about a lot of heavier stuff like this. It's natural. It just naturally trends in this direction. If I'm streaming Overwatch, I'm going to be throwing out more cuss words and that kind of stuff because I'm focused on how fucking stupid my teammates are, you know? Or how, like, much of sweaty tryhards the enemies are, you know what I mean? We need more late night shiny hunts. It's a vibe. I know, dude. This is the kind of shit I wanted to do more often. I've kind of not done it because of probably depression. There's probably some... That's what I'm saying. We're getting introspective here. I assume that I kind of, like... It's funny, because, like, on the outside, it looks like I've handled getting fired really well. And I have. I think I've handled it with some good grace and adult-level maturity of, you know, getting displaced out of the most beneficial job I've ever had in my life. In terms of pay, in terms of the work that I do, in terms of gratification, it got pulled out from under me. I think I've handled it very gracefully. Here's the problem, though. I think the reason I've handled it so gracefully is that it is just another, like, it's just another bullet point on a lot of things I've had spinning around in my head lately. So, like, rather than it being some devastating thing that doesn't compare to all the suffering I have in my life, it actually is just, like, item number 4 on the 6 things that are making me devastatedly sad about my life. Like, it's just, oh, okay, yeah, I'm fired. I don't have a job. Oh, well. I make unemployment jokes, which hopefully never get to your head negatively. No. Nah. I mean, I make them, for God's sakes. like I said, it's like, in the grand scheme of things, I'm not super concerned about it. And part of that is the belief that I'm going to find a job much quicker than last time. Which, maybe not. Let's find out. But, yeah, there's this other stuff I've got, aspirational stuff, goal stuff, where my life is at when I'm a 26-year-old, still living with his parents kind of thing. There's other stuff I got spinning around in my head that makes me feel a little, like, down. A little. That are resulting in the depression that I'm feeling. And rather than being fired from my job being, like, the only thing that is upsetting me right now, it's just one of the things upsetting me right now. So, I on the outside, I look like I'm handling it quite well. And I am. But there's other, it's just part of the pot of other stuff bubbling beneath the surface that it's just all gonna take time to take care of. I think the biggest thing that's bothering me about being unemployed right now is that it has now become the top priority. Like, before, it was like, I have a list of things that I need to do to improve my life and be, move myself upwards. Like, start taking better care of myself so that I can start being more presentable, start saving up a lot more money so that I have a good nest egg to move out of this house with. Now I have to put all of that kind of stuff on hold because all of my energy and attention needs to be get another job. Which is really funny that I'm doing this instead, but that's kind of the pressure that I'm feeling about it right now. So that, I think that's probably the worst part about not having a job right now, is that I can't work towards other goals until I find another job. I think that is probably, I think that's the part that hangs on me the most. But like I said, it's in terms of mental strife, it is secondary to other things going on. So I'm chill. I'm the same old me. I have life goals already. Doesn't mean it'll work, because it's life, and life loves to fuck you over. They always say, when man plans, God laughs. God's got his own plan. But it doesn't mean you shouldn't work towards the kind of stuff you want to do. Because maybe you're aligned with God's plan. Who knows? But I'm willingly trying to go for a trade that will make me happy and hopefully make good money. Yeah, that's the end goal. I remember when I first went to college, because I knew I wanted some kind of college-y job, I didn't know what the fuck I wanted to do. I just had no idea. I've told this story, I don't know if I've told the story on stream, but I've definitely told the story a couple of times. I went to college, and I went through the first, 2 semesters without declaring a major, which is about as long as, which is literally as long as you can go without declaring a major. Because I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. I didn't know if I wanted to teach. I didn't know if I wanted to get into psychology, because I really enjoyed my entry-level psych class. All kinds of stuff going on. I ended up deciding that I wanted to be just go into business management. I just decided business management. I threw a dart at a board and went, let's go to business school. Let's just do it. Business management, whatever. Just get my foot in the door. I can always change later. Just get my foot in the door on something. Out of the intro classes that I had to take for those business courses, because I'd already done a lot of undergraduate stuff, I couldn't really, I could throw in some other stuff, but then I wouldn't have easy classes to take as a senior. So I took a lot of the entry-level business classes that you have to take. And one of those classes was an accounting class. And I say this with a decent amount of confidence. It was the first time I enjoyed the work I was doing in school since I was 10. It was the first time where I was like, oh fuck, this is enjoyable. This is exciting. I love doing these little things. I love having my brain activated and work in this kind of way. And it was just general concept of bookkeeping and that kind of stuff. But in my head, I was like, other people fucking hate this. every time I've talked to somebody about accounting, they're like, oh, accounting, oh, I fucking hate my accounting class. I go in there and I fucking like it. That's gotta mean something. And I haven't looked, and well, I did look back once, but I have, ever since, anytime I have been in college, I have not done anything else. Sometimes on your path to some kind of arbitrary plan, something presents itself. And it presented itself for me. I got a big old diploma on my wall back over there. I'm a big old college graduate. Don't worry about the fact that the only reason I did it is to be with a girl who broke up with me, and I have to think about that every time I look at my diploma, but don't worry about that kind of stuff. I have a college diploma, guys. Yippee! Like I said, other stuff bubbling under the surface. We're having fun getting serious with the late night Seabass 223. He's bearing his soul for the public. Alright, let's read the comment. Like PC technician working in a small city living in, it's a risky choice. Yeah. Yes and no. PC technician specifically, maybe, but with that skill set, I feel like you could definitely pick up, like, general technician stuff. I definitely think you should do what you love, but like, if you wanted to go a quote-unquote safer route, you can become I don't want to say Geek Squad because I've had some connotation to it, but maybe you're the guy that people call for not just their computers, but like their TVs are on the fritz, they're looking to get new equipment, they're having internet issues, they're having router issues, they're having cell phone issues. Maybe you become a bit more of a generalist in your pursuit of learning PC specific stuff. Or the complete other direction is you completely optimize for PC stuff and end up moving to a place that suits it better. Doesn't have to be far, it doesn't have to be out of your state, but it could be to a bigger city in your state. Like you're 17? Life's open to you. You got a lot of direction to go. Everyone talks about, you have so much potential, there's so much stuff you can do. And it's true, but it's also, when people say that kind of stuff, at least to me, I don't know about you, feels overwhelming. Like, oh, what if I make the wrong choice? Don't worry about that. Exactly, it's terrifying, isn't it? That, there's so many possibilities you can go through, and and a lot of people see that as, exciting, oh my god, there's so many things you can do. You just have to do it and try. And I think people, like myself, get worried about making the wrong choice. And I hope this isn't bad advice, because I'm saying it in my head, and I'm like, it could be bad advice, but I think it's good advice. I am of the belief that there are no wrong choices. I don't think there are mistakes long term. I think short term there are mistakes. There are things that you do and you go, oh, it would have been better if I had done this, or, ooh, that was not a good thing to do. But I think in a long-term sense, in, your life, I think those things don't stay as big of regrets as you might think they are in the moment. For example, I'm not gonna bury the lead on this one. I worked for a pyramid scheme for about 3 months. It was one of those multi-level marketing things, and at the time, I was roped in because they're a fundraising company raising money to get DARE back into schools. But the idea was that DARE is going to pivot away from drug resistance, and they were going to change their focus to spreading mental health awareness to the youth, which, to me, back then and now, I don't know if DARE's doing that now, but that's the soup I was sold at the time. That was a big fucking deal to me back then. It's a big deal to me now, but that was a big deal to me back then. And I really wanted that. So I went for it. So I started standing outside of companies with a table with a cloth that said DARE on it and told people to make donations. And I would get a commission based on how much money I raised. And then once I got good enough at that, I started having other people who took orders from me, who were new hires to the business. Like, oh yeah, they're on Chris's team now. Oh, fun, cool. And then I was starting to get a little bit burnt out because I found out very quickly that I am not someone who is motivated by commission stuff. Because what will happen is that early on, I will do very, very fucking good, and then I will immediately crash and burn out. So commission-based stuff is not for me. That's what I learned. And then around that time, they were like, hey guys, we're gonna stay inside for a little bit. This COVID thing's kind of crazy, so like, we'll call you back when things settle down or whatever, this whole COVID craze. So anyway, I never went back to that job. I went to another one. Go figure. Go figure I wasn't going out to go fundraising in a fucking mask anymore. Yeah, I just fell off that wagon. Put in my resignation and just moved on. Now, short term, working for a pyramid scheme, trying and failing to work as a commission, trying and failing to work in sales. Short term, not great. Probably could have done some better stuff to further my career in more optimized paths. But long term, I think it was very important for me to do that kind of stuff because it taught me about who I was as a person. I learned a lot about this is not the kind of thing I like to do. This is not the kind of way I like to earn money. So I think in the long term, I've benefited from it because I've not taken those kinds of jobs again. It's a mistake I made, and I learned from it and moved on. So I don't think that there are any mistakes. And that's something I'm trying to tell myself now with the next job I get. Like, there's not gonna be, like, oh, I didn't get the perfect job. Oh, fuck. Oh. I just need to kind of do something. I just kind of need to get something off the ground. And that will be more beneficial. And I think the same goes for the direction you're going in. I think you just... If you're pushing yourself in a direction that you are inspired to go in, I think that there's nothing wrong with that. I think there are no problems with that. Alright, I've been yapping a lot. Let's catch up on the chats. You know, I've been fighting with my parents for ages not to do the car mechanic, and I know why they want me to. A place where I'm living, you can make good money being a car mechanic, but if I don't like it, not only will it affect me mentally, but if I mess up, that's someone's life on my hands. It's messed up but true. Oh, you're worried about, like... Okay, so you're worried about... You have your qualms about that position because you don't want to say, hey, this car is good, get on the road, you're fine, and then they have some kind of problem and that can mess them up. That's a genuine concern to have. I don't know enough about fixing cars to know that if you can fix a car in a way that ends up it not being street safe still, I don't know, but if that's not something you want to do, then that's something you don't want to do. Like I said earlier, like I think if you're pushing yourself in a direction that gives you confidence and inspiration, I think that should be paramount over everything else. I don't think it's necessarily like what's better or worse. That is I think a problem especially because I'm still living in this house, a problem I worry about with my parents as well, is I feel pressured to make the next big move, you know what I mean? Like, my next job needs to be a home run because I'm a man trying to move up in my career kind of thing. And I think that's giving me some anxiety and triggering my fight, flight, or freeze, and I'm freezing up because if it's not good enough, then I don't want it. Because I don't want to have my next step in life be a fumble. And I think I need to get over that mindset. I guess I can mess up a PC and that'd suck for a person, but that's better than someone dying. I get your qualms. That's understandable. Like I said, I don't know enough, but off of the top of my head, I don't know how prevalent that is. But like I said, I'm not here to tell you one thing or the other. And like I said, I think you should push yourself in a direction that gives you confidence and inspiration. It's that you hear the whole adage of like you want to love the thing that you do, and it's like, oh well, in today's world, can you really do that? Yeah, yeah, you can. Like, I think money's important up until you can be reasonably comfortable with it. Like, money is important to a point. Once you have enough money to, like, I think what it is, I think that a lot of, it's something that a streamer mentioned recently, is that rich streamers' favorite thing about having money is to pay for other people's food. I think that's a poignant point. Like, once you have the money to, like, comfortably pay your bills, comfortably pay for the kinds of food you want, not just calories, but like you can sustain yourself enjoyably and comfortably, and then you have money that you're saving on the side, investing into like a 401k or something, and then you still have money off to the side. I think that is like the most that money is ever going to make you happy. I think once like all of your like that should be the like the gold standard, is like all my bills are paid, I'm investing in my future, I'm eating the kinds of foods that I want, and I still have some money to play with on my own time. I think getting more than that is not worth it, in my opinion. So I think up to that point, worrying about making more money this way versus that way is not important. And even before that point, I think if the thing that gets you the exact amount of money that you need is killing your soul, and you're not gratifying, and it's not gratifying to you, I think that's not worth it either. I don't know, it's just stuff that's been on my mind lately. I'm at a bit of a different stage in my life than you are. You're still, you know, I mean, you're at a bit of a crossroads, because this is the time where you decide what you're doing next with your life. But in the same vein, we're still at some different points in our lives. So I have a bit of a different perspective, I guess. All stuff you got to worry about later. I talked to a mechanic and he paused for a while and said, "Don't do it if you're not going to enjoy it, because one mishap can mess up someone's life." I see. So a mechanic did tell you that, like, yeah, I get that. Yeah, okay. If that is a guiding piece of information for you, I think that works. I will try to put it into a bit of a perspective, though. I like to do this because my mindset is like to gather all information and make an informed decision. So I tend to like to, whether I agree with it or not, I like to play the other side of the fence, where I provide information for even the side I don't agree with. I think that makes you a more well-rounded person, both politically and financially and intelligently, and all other kinds of buzzwords you can use. But for example, the counterpoint to don't do it if you're not going to enjoy it because you can mess up someone's life, I don't think that should stop you from enjoying something even if there's a risk to it. Because, for example, my friend, Weary, our dear friend Weary, is a lineman. And that is a job with some occupational hazards, for sure. But he enjoys the work, he enjoys the people he's around, and he's making more money than I ever did doing it. Now, granted, he's working like a dog, but he feels satisfied with it, he's enjoying it. You know, just trying to offer like a different mindset on it. I don't, like, I understand if that is the thing that's like, I don't want to do this, I don't find enjoyment in it anymore. Or maybe even before. But like, You know, I think he had a point where like chasing the thing that you like and enjoy and are gratified by is more important than anything. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the last repel that we have on hand. Now I'm gonna go do something real quick. I'm gonna start the next repel up. Oh, we already have it activated, so I'm gonna stay here until that one's gone. I should really... Oh. I should have saved before. I should have gotten on my bike at the save, but that's fine. I'll just keep forgetting over and over. It'll be really funny. But I want to empty one of the slots in my party. Oh, that's Pokemon. So that I can, when I catch both Marill, they can just sit in my party and I don't have to go to the PC for anything. I just thought about it. What if I catch Marill on like my last repel? That would really suck. I would have like no fucking repels. I'd have to go sell more shit and stuff. That would not be fun. I would work on my mom's car with my dad, and I personally think I enjoyed it because I was with my dad rather than the work. That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, it could be. Like I said, I don't want to assume anything, but that I didn't mean to repel again. Whatever. We'll rock with it. Like I said, or like I tried to point out earlier, you're young. You're at a very I think a good word for it. Everyone likes to throw around the word potential. I think that word is slightly discouraging. I like to throw around the word malleable. Your life is at a very malleable point right now. You can kind of do whatever right now. You have there's a lot of different ways you can mold your life into, and you're at a point, and I'm kind of at that point. I'm getting towards the end of that point in my life, but I'm at that point where we can fuck up. We can go into something we don't want to do and find some gratification in it, even if it's a mistake. So I think sweating people's decisions, sweating what other people want you to do, it's a bit, and I have a lot of empathy for this as well. It's a bit tricky when you're under someone else's roof, right? Because they literally have your financial shit say in mind. But you know, I think you should go through with something that you enjoy. Man, we're a far cry from talking about fucking anime. Dear God, look at us. Looks like we're both gonna skip our therapist appointments. Alright, I want to be a bit careful here, because I would like to not run into a trainer battle if I can help it. I think I battled a lot of the trainers on this route specifically because I was trying to level up Pachirisu. But I know I skipped like all of them here. So I don't think no, I might have hit this lady. I'm gonna act like I did. I don't mind running into a wild encounter here. Whee! Okay, cool. Oh, you know what? Fuck me, I just realized I should do this after. Damn. I shouldn't use another repel. I want to maximize the amount of repels I have. I'm worried about that. So let me go burn the repel I have from before the save. I may even hate being a PC technician. I've never worked on that kind of stuff, but I watched so many videos on PCs and I've always been so intrigued. GPU is now a buzzword for me. Like, yeah, like that's, like I said, there's risk in that kind of stuff, but I think we're at a point where we shouldn't be risk adverse. We should go forward with something that inspires us. And you seem to be in a position where you're very inspired by PC stuff. So I think you are right in thinking that you should capitalize on that. But like I said, it's your decision to make. I know it's not as simple as, yeah, just do it. but you know, I think it's a decision worth making. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start resetting the save file earlier in repels. Like, I'll resave once I'm down to like, or I'll reset once I'm down to like 30. Just so I don't overuse them. The video I watched got the Marill, I think it was 595 encounters. So, who knows, maybe we get ours before then as well. It would be crazier getting a shiny in better odds than Emerald. I think that's going to be our grand champion in terms of odds. I don't think we're going to top that. Please be over odds. You're a villain. Who are you? And Weary, what did you do with Gecko? Alright. So we'll count that encounter just cuz. But, oh, it is a Marill. Look at that. It's a level 22 Marill, too. It's like the repel never wore off. But yeah, let's see if we can't deposit the little fuckers before, you know, getting too many. That's on the same route, so that's another encounter. It is a Staravia, though, so. Boo. No, Intimidate, how could you? You monster. Oh, right, the runner. And then around this way, there's an encounter, which doesn't count because there's no Marill on this route. I've been doing so much chatting, I forgot to do my Litwick hunt. Oh man, that's funny. Distraction from you getting actually a very pretty shiny. I have nothing to say. Litwick and Chandelure and they're all it's a very pretty shiny evolution line. Alrighty. Let's go deposit these little fuckers. I think this is the first time I'm actually putting something in the box in this game. We'll get Bird up and Leo out of here. This is just for the crazy instance of us actually finding and catching a shiny Kadabra, because like we still gotta catch the guy, and that's not gonna be easy. While I'm here, let me buy some Great Balls. I think I bought 2 of them, but I probably want a couple more, right? Oh, we don't have any. Yeah, I should definitely buy more. Should definitely buy a couple more. I think a solid 10 would be good. Alright, I am going to take this moment to save. And I'm gonna go use the restroom real quick. I'll be right back. And I'll respond to that ZA comment, and I do. Oh, that's right. Bibbidi bibbidi boom. Still haven't made the proper thing for this. Yatta! Using a different keyboard now, so it's a little more out of the way. Let's leave you with... Oh, don't knock things over. I don't know if you can actually sit down properly. Nah, I'm just gonna be big chillin' laying down. Wait, I can prop him up. God, I'm a genius. Alright, be right back. I really gotta cut the tags off these things. Just like the fucking Pokemon banner, not sponsored or affiliated in any way. Just sitting up there like that for real, huh? Very funny. Please link me that mouse mat. I hate to tell you this. It was a pre-order exclusive from Best Buy for Legend ZA. I'm sorry, I can't. I know. I fucking hate learning that something I really want is an exclusive timed event or something. Whew. It's fucking rough, I know. Anyway, in some more uplifting... I had the timer going during that, whatever. What? Apothecary Diaries. Of course. Why? Why? Oh, because I hit the web browser button. That's funny. I had that list up earlier. Whoopsies. Switch it back to that one. There we go. That's funny. Apothecary Diaries jump scare. Okay, so... Oh, that's... There we go. And then we go this way. Oops. There we go. I can't remember which one of these trainers I did or didn't avoid. So I'm just going to do my best to avoid all of them. I didn't fight her? I'm almost certain I fought her. No way! Well, I guess we're fighting her with, like, no team. HM Slave, be my pivot. We're gonna have a dead Bidoof with us this whole run. I've fought with ZA more. Yeah, it's... Yeah. I heard that was being a bit of a pain. I heard that was being a bit of a pain for you. Oh, God. I was like, maybe I turn on the music. That shit was loud. Alright, I'm hoping it's Elekid, so I can just flame wheel it. Damn, Joseph got a lot of that XP. Oh, dear Lord in heaven. Hey, well, this is definitely better. Should die in one punch. No! That's crazy. Dude, my low-ass attack stat mattered again. Just barely. Oh my god, he has the fucking EXP share on still. Oh god, I need to get that off of him right now. Because if we level up over 23, over 22, the strat is fucked. Alright, we're gonna switch Wukong up in the front until we get to that patch of grass, and then we're gonna save again, and then put that repel back on. Okay, so I think I no, I did battle you. I definitely battled you. Yeah, that's why you were looking left. Is a runner only walks? The fuck is this? Okay, I can't remember if I fought you. I definitely know I fought the guy up here. I know it to be true because I wanted the fist plate. Which honestly, I should just put on Monferno. Make those Mach punches a lot more power. I should have had that on earlier. I love Mabel, but Mabel decided she was gonna crash your game. I told you, dude. She's not the one. I was trying to tell you. You didn't believe me. She ain't the one. Alright. Get on the bike. Go in the bag. Hover over the super repels. Activate the super repel. Oh fuck, wait, no. Oh, we're good. Switch Joseph to the front slot. Still smash? I mean, I'd still smash, but like, we're talking about if she's better than other characters or not, and she's not. Cool, so we have most of our super repels, we have our team slots open, so everything's a lot more prepared than it was earlier. Now, back to the hunt. The hunt begins again. Roll my sleeves a little bit. Whew. Oh, now this microphone is like blocking my view. That's fine. I wasn't gonna touch any of that shit anyway. I should really make my own playlist for like chill music like this that isn't gonna get me copyright strict. Because I have like a low-key playlist, but I feel like a lot of the music on it is copyrighted, and I don't want to deal with any of that shit. I was doing checks, but I hate checks so much. Yeah. I feel ya. I feel ya, man. I don't, like, outside of Legends Arceus, I literally have never done a single ounce of shiny hunting before this year. Color Your Night is totally not copyrighted? You mean the fucking Persona music? I mean, honestly, maybe. I don't know about Atlas, but I know Atlas is owned by Sega, and I know Sega is, like, pretty chill about their stuff. But like I said, I want some, that might be a chill song, actually, but I don't want to test the waters on that stuff. I'll make one off camera. We'll do it that way. Oh my god, I forgot Pop was here earlier. I was like, did Pop miss this stream? No, he, like, the first thing he did was say, "Sup, girl, I'm gonna play you Knight." Sup. Yeah, I can feel myself getting back into the rhythm of it, but I used to be, like, very comfortable doing this. So Atlas is weird about copyright. That's kind of understandable. They're a Japanese company, and because I've like interacted with Nintendo a lot, which makes it sound like I'm like important to them or something, but like I know a thing or two because of Nintendo. I get the Japanese companies have different rules about their copyrights and stuff. So I know stuff is a little more hair trigger when it comes to using it. I'm surprised none of the like remixes to Nintendo songs on this playlist get any problems. And I think that has to do with a lot of the, like, literally 98% of this playlist is Game Chops, and Game Chops does a really good job at making sure the stuff they put out isn't gonna get Nintendo pilled. So I like them quite a bit, but I might make one of my own. A lot of songs from here, and more on my own side. I know Game Chops does a really nice remix of like Hot Crater from Sonic Advance 2. That's a little too energetic for this playlist, but you know, there's other stuff that I know about that would go well here. I want my own copyright-free lo-fi playlist. That's what I really want. It's a little more upbeat, but I can play that. I can play that. I quite like the song myself. We were talking about Ava earlier, so seems pretty fitting. I'm a big fan of these guys' other songs too. So when I found out they did this, I was like, ooh. It's not even coming through, is it? Oh my god, can y'all not even hear this? Y'all literally, I'm looking at on OBS, y'all literally can't hear that. Okay, well, we'll turn it up a little bit then. There we go. Very funny. Oop. I love that the clock has a night vision button. Yeah, it's gonna be a little bit louder than the rest of it, so maybe about here. Yeah. I'm a good mood. In a good mood for not telling you these. Oh, you're in a good mood for. Oh, it's funny. I'm a good mod for not telling you these things. I see, okay. I say, yeah, I thought you said good mood. I'm getting tired, man. You know what? The more I think about it, the more I really... I want to do a morning stream of Kirby Air Riders. So I'm probably going to end the stream a little bit early and then set alarms to wake myself up early and just be fucking exhausted. It'll be really nice. You'll get like a 7 a.m. Seabass and you're like, hey guys, I want to play the new Kirby game. What did you want to say to me? I don't know if I missed it or not. The music might be just too fucking quiet. It's harder to tell on... Here, give me a second. We're gonna go... Just for a little bit, we're gonna go to this land. So I get an easier view of my OBS. Yeah, I could probably turn it up a little bit more, right? Probably right about here? Don't want it to be... Like I said, I want it to be very background, but... You know, I'm also talking a lot quieter than I usually do. But not that much quieter, for God's sakes. Probably right about there for me is probably the sweet spot. Well, I sleep until like 12 p.m. so you can have your favorite viewer. I'll be live when you get back. That's what it's gonna be. That's just what it's gonna be. Alright. Let's get back to it. Get back to work, streamer. Holy shit, that was a lot of steps without an encounter. But I'm wondering, like, what time? I'm thinking like 7 o'clock start time. I'm thinking something really like nasty and fucked up. If I do that, I'll probably only really get about I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. I have to think about it. Would y'all think it's sacrilegious if I had a freezer pizza for like a late breakfast? If I like put a pizza in the oven at like, I don't know, like 10:30 in the morning. I feel like that's the acceptable amount of time to be off camera for. Do it, King? Let's do it. Then I don't have to go out for lunch. So I'm thinking like... Yeah. I'm just ready for that 7 a.m. conversation with my dad where I'm like, there's a new game that's coming out. I'm gonna play it for just a couple hours, Dad. Just until like 11 o'clock or something. I promise I'll get back to work, and then I'll just be live until like 3 p.m. Oh, this is definitely a copyrighted song. Oh boy. I'm wondering if I could be a little frisky with it. You guys mind if I up the vibe of the stream a little bit with a bit of a risky playlist? This is one of my low-key favorite playlists that I've made lately. Not because the music is my favorite music. I love the music in it, but like, I love that I made a playlist like this, that kind of thing. Be risky and frisky. We were talking about Sega earlier. I have a playlist of all of my favorite Sonic songs. And I don't know if I talk about this very often. There's 131 songs on this playlist. Basically a closet. I wouldn't even say I'm a closeted Sonic fan. I am a retired Sonic fan. I used to like that stuff a lot, but I kind of don't like it as much as I used to anymore. But back in the day, growing up, me and Sonic was like this. We was like bestest buds. My first game that I ever have any memory of playing is Sonic Advance 2 on the Game Boy Advance. In my car, on that shit little square-shaped Game Boy. This was my first video game I ever remember playing, so
we're gonna go ahead and order these by their album, and we're just gonna shuffle and see what happens. And we're just gonna let this run. Now I know I have it in my head that some songs here are far worse than others. But at the same time, I've heard other streamers play like literally this song we're listening to right now. I heard a streamer on YouTube playing the song and didn't have any problems with it. So, you know, why not me? Sonic was kind of interesting. It was cool, but I never really liked the gameplay. But then I would play the Newground games, which I thought were really cool. No, like when I was growing up, this was like my shit. You know, I'm a kid. I think I got out at a really good time. You know what I mean? Like, my golden era, quote unquote, golden era, because it's not the actual, like, what people consider the golden era, but, like, my love for Sonic was, like, 2000, 2001, until, like, 2010, 2011. And for reference, I was born in 1999, so that was when I, like, up until the age of about 11 or 12, is about the time where I was like, Sonic's really not enjoyable anymore. And then that was around the time where I started, like, interacting, not just, like, viewing things on the internet, but interacting with the internet. And that is around the time where I was like, oh god, Sonic fans are fucking weird. Like, I got out scot-free of being a huge Sonic fan. I got away with murder on this shit. Like, hoo-wee. Imagine being, like, a fan of Sonic, like a big, like, fan of Sonic at my age. I gotta be like, oh, those fucking guys? Oh. Not judging them too harshly, but, like, at the same time, it's just not a culture I'm invested in, and I'm, like, as an outsider looking into that culture, I'm glad I'm not associated with the rougher parts of it. God, no, don't show the people that. How dare you? But yeah, this is all music. All the music on this playlist is essentially from that era. You're gonna get shit like the Sonic Adventure games, Sonic Heroes, Sonic Unleashed, Sonic Generations, and a lot of the stuff in the middle I didn't mention. Like, all that stuff's gonna be on this playlist. Everything from stages to Crush 40 to, like, other vocal stuff, other non-vocal stuff, Mania music. That's the only exception, is there's Mania music and, like, 2 songs from a game I never played, which is Sonic Forces. Never played it. I haven't even played Frontiers, which is a game I told myself I would play at some point, but I never have. I never did it. A lot of people were like, you were born in 2007, you had an Xbox at 9 years old. You've had to play such gruesome games, and no, I played Minecraft, Halo 4, Pokemon Pearl. Yeah, that's an interesting thing that people don't really realize, is like, even though I was born in 1999, and you'd think that, like, I wouldn't know any games that came out around that time, because I was literally 0 when they happened, one of my favorite video games, and this is something I know I've never talked about on this stream. Maybe, I don't know. I do not talk about it that much. I know that much. One of my favorite games of all fucking time. I genuinely think it is. There's such a deep love for this game in my heart. The original Crash Racing on the PlayStation 1. That's one of the greatest video games ever made. It's perfect. It's perfect. CTR. Oh, that game is so fucking good, man. I have memories of being so young playing that video. This is how young I am, right? This is how young I was when I was playing this game. I was so much of a baby and so not good at video games that my dad helped me beat a level I was struggling with. My dad, like, does not play video games at all, period. So the fact that I was young enough and bad enough at a game that I couldn't beat a level that my dad walked up and like, yeah, let's do this, I beat it first try kind of thing, is crazy. Like, when I say I was playing these games young, I was young. I have known CTR to be one of the greatest video games ever made, and since then. Such a good game. So old, so hard to play if you've never played it before, because, you know, the passage of time makes things look differently when you play them. But I think CTR has held up phenomenally well from a mechanical standpoint. It's, mechanic-wise, it's phenomenal. And I'll talk a little bit about it in a second, but I want to cover Gecko's point in chat. I didn't play a COD until I was 14 and loved it. Played online and immediately ran away. It's fair. That's fair. The most enjoyment I ever got out of Call of Duty games was Nazi Zombies. I played a fuck ton of Nazi Zombies. You know who else played a fuck ton of Nazi Zombies? Weary. And Weary is really, really fucking good at zombies. I remember one summer, just when we were in high school, just for fun, decided I'm gonna dedicate this summer to getting round 50 on every single Call of Duty map, or Zombies map, which at the time was World at War, Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, and I think, no, just those 3 games. World at War, Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2. He wanted to get to round 50 on every single one of those maps. He did it in a month. Like, he was fucking nasty at these games. He was fucking good at them. And he still plays them to this day, and he's still good as fuck at them. Probably not as much as he used to be, because he doesn't play much of anything anymore. Kind of like me. But in his heyday, Weary was a zombies god. My first COD game was Ghost. That is why you ran away from the series. It all makes sense now. Also, I failed to mention it. This fucking song is incredible. This is from Sonic Battle on the Game Boy Advance. It's the first, like, arena that you fight in. Dude. The GBA sound chip. See, that's the problem. I don't know how well it's coming in. I'm just gonna crank it a little bit more. Sorry, not sorry. I want to figure out a good volume for this music. So give me a second here, folks. We'll base it off of this. Yeah, that's probably good. That's probably good. I want it a little bit lower than that. Probably right about there, but I don't want the sound to get cut out of OBS. Yeah, we'll do it like this. We're playing Sonic music, motherfuckers. We're shiny hunting in a Nintendo game and playing Sega music. Fuck yeah, baby. Next time I'm gonna play Persona 5 while playing fucking Mario Kart music. I don't even know what I liked about the game. It's been so long. Ghost is... If I remember correctly, Ghost is a very, like, slow-paced, sniper-centric Call of Duty game. Like, the campaign is very different than other... It was very experimental, and a lot of people's conclusions were it didn't work that well. But yeah, that was one that people rated very lowly, so if that was your first experience with Call of Duty, I can understand being a little like, oh. And nowadays, Call of Duty is fucking dead. Have you seen the recent stuff that's coming out on Twitter about Call of Duty, the ending of the campaign? Oh my god, you fight a skibbity toilet boss. It's fucking stupid. And it's not the only one either. This is what I had to learn, is that that's not the only fucking skibbity toilet boss you fight. It's fucking ridiculous. Anyway, yeah, so Call of Duty's fucking dead. The games have not been... I have not been compelled to play a Call of Duty game, even for zombies, since Black Ops 3. And I don't think Black Ops 7 has changed that for me. Not in the slightest. Oh yeah, you can play as the dog in Ghost, so it's kind of fun. I never actually played it, so I don't know that from personal experience, but
Yeah, there you go. The dog. Yeah, the whole point of this conversation was like, you played a lot of gruesome games growing up, and honestly, you say you didn't, but you mentioned, oh, you said you played it when you were 14, but you said you played Halo. That's not exactly like a cutesy funny game. COD is just Fortnite but worse. COD's really trying to copy Fortnite's flow right now, and they are not doing well at it. I'm not gonna lower the volume for y'all. I'm gonna lower the volume for me here, just so I can keep myself quiet. But this, oof, we got Sonic Rush music playing right now. I'm telling you, it's just gonna be music. If you haven't like played Sonic games, this is just gonna be music you've ever heard before. But point's gonna head, fall in love. You better fall in love, motherfucker. Yeah, dude, COD is like dead. It's so funny. Hey, you can be honest with me, bro. What's up? Save me from spinning off into a useless tangent. Or don't. Do whatever you want. I played Sonic Rush on my DS, and I liked it for one reason. He played Sonic Rush. He played one of the best Sonic games of all time. Let's go. Now tell me, what is your very kosher Catholic reason for loving that game? Your very normal, not weird reason for loving that game. Tell me. It's a very good game. There's lots of reasons to love it. Surely your reason for loving it is very normal. There's so little Sonic Rush music on Spotify because all of it is like mixed recordings of other samples. So they don't have the copywriting for it, so they just removed all the Sonic Rush music from Spotify. Really sad, but you can listen to it on YouTube and stuff. I thought Blaze was hot. I know, I kind of teed you up for that one. You know what? I don't agree, but without condoning or condemning, I understand. I do remember being a kid and like investing into like, and this is when I was like little like elementary age, invested in like the romance stuff of it. Like, oh, I want Amy and Sonic to get together, man. So like without condoning or condemning, I understand. It's really funny because I said all that and then you went silent and I was like, uh-oh, did I scare him? I thought I was gonna have to like reaffirm you, like, I played Sonic Rush at 9 to 10 years old. That's way later than the game came out. You said you were born in 2007. Those games came out before you were born. You were rocking the DS Lite in like 2018? 2016? 2017? Nice. That's sick. You were, for reference, you were rocking the DS Lite at the same age I was rocking the DS Lite. The difference is I was rocking the DS Lite because it had just come out. Because it was new. Way to make me feel old. You were playing on it because it was like retro and old and cool. I was playing it because it was like the new thing. Oh man, I gotta check my beard for gray hairs now. Oh man. Dad's friend got it for me, yeah. I will tell you, Sonic Rush, incredible game. Oh man, you don't want to hear. I'll go on my rant on Sonic Heroes in a little bit. I want to wait till the actual song plays, but I will preface that rant with this. I think Sonic Heroes is one of the best Sonic games as long as you're not playing it. That'll make more sense when I rant about it, but like, if you know Sonic Heroes, you know what I mean. That game is... I've been thinking about it lately. That game is... Fuck it, I'm gonna go into the rant. I'm doing it now. I'm popping my ult now. Never mind, I've been derailed. You didn't like Sonic Generations. Can you tell me why? Without condoning or condemning, I want to know why you think that. I don't know. Good answer. I'll tell you why I ask is because that is the last main line, other than Mania, last main big Sonic game that I ever enjoyed. I didn't enjoy Lost Worlds. I didn't even try Forces. People didn't like it, and I haven't played Frontiers yet. That's the last time I was excited for a new Sonic game. You know what I mean? Again, not including Mania. It's the last time I've been like, oh, dude, new Sonic game, whoa! And I liked it a lot. I had a lot of fun with it. I think that game is sick. And you're just gonna hit me with the I don't know? Just didn't care about it. That's fair. And you seem like a person, and this is a difference between us, and there's nothing wrong with that, but this is a difference between us. You seem like someone who's very compelled by context. And I'm basing that off of your love for the Persona series. Like, a reason to do what you're doing in a game matters a lot to you, and it matters to a lot of people. For me, I just like doing shit. You don't need to give me a reason. You don't need to give me an explanation. I'm just gonna do that shit. That is why I think Kingdom Hearts 2 is one of the best games ever made. Because I'm not thinking about how stupid the story is. I'm not thinking about characters' justifications for actions being the dumbest fucking thing on the planet. I'm not thinking about how the plot line is the most convoluted, idiotic thing ever written by mankind. I'm just flying around as Sora, doing like 14 string air combos and converting that into a Magnega that pulls everyone towards me, and then I keep comboing them further, and then I switch to a Keyblade that has anti-combo. So then I only do like 2 air swings, and I keep chaining those together because those are doing more damage in certain fights. And that stuff, like, my brain's just like, I love that shit. I'm not thinking about the story of the game at all. I'm just like, he looks cool as fuck swinging that giant key around. Like, I'm a simple man. I don't have many requirements for stuff. But I can, my point is I can definitely see that if you are interested in the context of actions, you look at something like Sonic Generations and are like, this is fucking stupid. Why the hell? Why the context for these actions and interactions are fucking stupid. The characters are not compelling. They're not... I'm not engaging with them on an exciting level. I don't like this. I get that. But all you said is IDK. I just didn't care. Well, no, you said I don't care about it. That's fair. But like, I don't care, dude. I'm fucking playing 3D Sonic Boost and all like very nice level designs, very compelling systems, and you know, some of the stuff about 2D Sonic's not fun, but the music in his stages are fucking incredible. Dude, I might. Yep, fuck all this shit. Hold on a second. I gotta go. Oh shit. Whoops. There is a song I need to play. This one. Dude, this fucking song. What the fuck? What happened? Oh, what the fuck? Hold on. Oh god. Oh god in heaven. Okay, we're good.
I think sometimes that shit just doesn't loop properly and it breaks. I'm right about you. Yes. My surface level love for psychology is actually paying off. Yes. Yes. Let's go. Typing on Steam Deck sucks, by the way. You're watching me on your Steam Deck? That's fucking badass. Now all you need is the GameCube. Yep, it's been a lot of cadavers lately. It's the first Marill. I feel like been more cadavers and Marills in the last like 10 encounters. Been seeing a lot of these spoony motherfuckers. I also got a little distracted by my background breaking. OBS is a fun little creature. I should think about changing this background too. I thought about doing it for Platinum, but like, I shouldn't feel locked in actually. I feel like a little, I'm telling myself I'm a little locked into the background for Platinum now that I've started with it. Nah, fuck it. I'll fucking change it, I don't care. I feel like that. How do I drag my keyboard out right now? Well, usually you watch on your phone. So I was like, ooh, you watch me on the Steam Deck now, which now I assume you've done for a while now. Guess why? As in, guess why you've been watching on your Steam Deck lately? Oh, I get it. Oh, your phone. Got it. Got it. You mean in the short term. Yeah, got it. Your phone's dead. Go figure. What am I going in my bag for? Oh, now it's playing all the songs that have Act 1 in them. We'll fix that. We'll keep playing the songs. It's a good one. It's a really funny song in this playlist. When the fuck did I put this in there? Oh my god. If that comes up, that's gonna make no sense to anybody. There's a Stas Bear remix of Game Grumps in this playlist. Oh god. And I know why I put it in there. It's really funny, but no one's gonna get it. That's awesome. I'm so glad I put that in there. That's awesome. I hope we hit that landmine in this random shuffle. I'm not gonna click on it first. That'd be the coward's way of doing this. But I do hope we hit it as a landmine. That'd be really funny. Well, we definitely didn't hit it in under 600 encounters like the guy on YouTube. But that's alright. Damn, it's almost 11 o'clock. I think I'm gonna check out at 11 o'clock, actually. Phone is so back. Yeah, here it is. Yep, you go check the badges real quick. They should be relatively clean because I've been unsaving my progress. Which I haven't done in the last couple of runs, but I have to in this one to save repels. God, it would be really nice if I was able to buy max repels. Last menuing would be really nice. Dude, it's been a lot of cadavers. You know what's really funny, Gecko? Is I was about to say, like, it's been a while since Gecko talked. I wonder if he's switching devices. Or actually what I thought was, I wonder if his Steam Deck is dying. Alright, let's play... This is a good one. Nah, stream all night. What's the worst that could happen? It's because I want to start early tomorrow and do Kirby. How much louder is this than me? It's like as loud as I am right now. Oh fuck.
That's not the vibe. I wanted it to be loud in my ears, so I turned it up. Whoopsies. Because I don't get to hear, like, how actually loud the recording is. I just get to have to look at a bunch of lines and just guess. Because if I made it so I could hear the stream, y'all would hear it too, and that's not the vibe. I'm gonna hate you. Gecko, what makes you assume I don't already? Common Kirby L? Listen. I get it, right? I'm not a Kirby guy. I'm not. I'm not gonna make any qualms about it. I've played a couple of the recent games. I played Star Allies. I played the non-DLC version of the newest one. I didn't even finish that one, to be honest. I'm not compelled by Kirby. I'm not. Kirby Air Riders? That's a little different. Kirby Air Ride on the GameCube. Remember we talked about top 10 games earlier? That's one of them. And not so much that it's super fun to play by yourself, it's super fun to play with other people. This time, however, they're doing a bit more stuff with the single player, so hopefully it'll be a bit more fun. Dude, I should start using this song for outros. Oh my god. Can you imagine? As a matter of fact, let's just do it now. Don't save the game. Don't save the game. Let's not use this for an outro yet, because I want to use the end of this rappel. But let's skip this song and come back. Ooh, more Sonic Adventure 1 music. Hell yeah. Dude, I should definitely pull this playlist out more often. It's good to just have a weird fucking mixture of energies in that playlist. Dude, that's gotta be my new thing. I gotta use the Sonic the Sonic 06 results music as my end screen. Alright. Also for the series, I'm gonna end when the rappel ends, and then I'm gonna do one more encounter. See if I can get like a crazy random shiny off of like anything. Roll those dice a little bit, yeah. I'm just not a huge Nintendo guy, I only like Pokemon. That's fair. That's understandable. I ended up getting kind of entrenched in Nintendo growing up. I think it's a growing up thing, to be honest. Nintendo games used to be a lot more fun to kids when I was younger. And I think they still kind of are, but not the same way. When like I was growing up and when the generation before me was growing up, shit was different. It's just different era, different mindset. Alright. The Wii was my first console. That's the kind of shit I'm talking about. So you were probably a big fan of Nintendo games when you were like a little kid. But like once you started growing up, that shit was kind of dookie. Alright, folks. That is going to do it for tonight. Folks, it's been a good one. It's been fun. I'm enjoying myself today. The emulator's still playing in the background, by the way. I will be back again, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed tomorrow. I'll have to write down my times, by the way, after this. Matter of fact, maybe we can do that right now. Pause the timer. Pause the timer. We'll just do it there. That's fine for me. So let me write this down for my own personal use later. 8:45, 21, 24. Total time eclipsed on this. But folks, yeah, it has been a fun one. I'm definitely gonna try and do more of these late night streams. You know, to be completely honest, what if I just fucking streamed twice tomorrow? What if I streamed a fuck ton of Kirby Air Riders, and then stopped streaming, came back later that night to play a little bit more Kirby Air Riders, maybe do some shiny hunting, maybe do a little bit of, you know, other wink wink nudge nudge. Unite? Pop? Is he here? Don't tell Pop I said I want to play Unite. Don't tell him. Alright, folks. For now, though, I'm going to sign off. It's been fun hanging out with you, Gecko, and anyone else who's watching the VODs. Appreciate it. Try to come by when I'm live. It's a lot of fun hanging out with people here. You'll have a good time. Until then, folks, I will see y'all in, like, 8 hours. See y'all then, folks. Take care, and good night.